I will go live here and I will share my screen. Want to thank everyone for coming out on a Monday evening like this. And we will make sure and make it well worth your time. We have an amazing guest speaker on today, Anthony.
Scandariato. I'll help you out, Herb.
Scandariato. Thank you. Awesome.
No problem.
Yes, and I will share my screen for just a moment till we introduce our guest speaker today. Can you all see my screen here?
Yep.
So this is not a solicitation for any deal, and it's not legal or financial advice. It's simply professional sharing what we do. And we have an amazing guest with extensive experience in multifamily and syndications, operations, investing, and he'll be telling us more about that in just a moment. So I'm very excited to have you on with us today. A couple of announcements today. Nikki and Dr. Sanjeev are part of the Eagle City team, as well as Asif Kumar and myself. And we make up the Eagle City multifamily team. So we are continuously looking for apartment deals. We are focused in the DFW and surrounding areas. We're open to some other areas, but that's where we are focused and putting in offers every week or so. We're putting in offers and looking to bring investments to people like you and I that want to invest in actual physical apartment deals. So let's introduce our amazing guest speaker, Anthony Scandariato.
Yep.
Is co-founder, sorry, of
Okay.
Red Knight Properties. Red Knight currently has $150 million under assets under management and has 1,000 units across 6 different states, has gone full cycle on over a dozen deals. Red Knight is a boutique multifamily and mixed-use real estate investment and property management company with a track record of building portfolios that deliver dependable cash flow and equity upside. Our value-add approach allows us to deliver strong returns to our investors. We target value-add multifamily and mixed-use properties and create significant equity by increasing cash flow and forcing appreciation through capital improvements. Our residents and tenants are the lifeblood of our assets. We strive to create vibrant communities where people are excited to live and work. What an amazing work you're doing there, Anthony. If you care to, share some of your hobbies too. We always like to hear those.
Yeah, I could get into that towards the end. I do like a cup of coffee every single day, multiple cups. So appreciate the background. So definitely like to try a lot of different coffees. But yeah, thank you for having me. That was a great intro. That's pretty much my bio. I'm happy to share my screen, as you mentioned, her real quick, so I can Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just to give let me try this. Another overview on who we are, but I don't want to talk about as much of who we are. I want to, get into any questions or any, specific dialogue on what we're seeing in the market or our experience. And the topic is, what does vertical integration mean? So I'm happy to discuss that. But yeah, as Herb said, we're a value add, vertically integrated multifamily, and by vertically integrating meaning we have property management in-house. The only thing we don't have is construction. We do outsource that, and some properties is vertically integrated, but for the most part, it's that part is outsourced. But everything else is vertically integrated. So yeah, as Herb said, we have about 1,000 units, give or take 150 million under management, plus or minus. We sold assets. We've sold about like maybe 300 to 500 units. So we would have had more it's always kind of fluctuating. But it's mostly multifamily, garden style apartment buildings, anything 50 to 200 units. Deal sizes are 5 million to 20 million. We're in 6 different states, states on here. Yeah, I'm based out of northern New Jersey. For context, about 45 minutes west of Midtown Manhattan. We had a property in New York State. We're not buying there anymore, but I do have experience there. We did well there, but I don't want to buy in New York anymore. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Alabama, and Florida. So we're pretty active in those areas. And I have a business partner as well. Who couldn't make it tonight, but yeah, it's essentially the two of us, and then we have a team of about, I want to say, 12 people on the ground at each location. But these are just the highlights of some of our properties that we still own, some of them that we've sold, a couple of the exact markets where we're at, Cincinnati, Ohio, Clearwater, Florida, Ocala, etc., Montgomery, Alabama. Some case studies, we don't really need to get into them too much, but we like to go in and buy from long-term owners that haven't really kept up with their properties, or have kept up with them, just kind of lagged market rents and all the inflation that especially has been going on the past couple of years. But we bought some properties over for someone who's owned it 30 years and never touched the rents ever, not even 2%. So we like to just buy from, I would say, more mismanaged properties rather than a full CapEx heavy value add, but we do some of that too. So our typical holding period is like 3 to 5 years, so we're very similar, I'm sure, to Eagle City in terms of their business plan and holding period and whatnot. And there were a few home runs, I would say, and obviously the market helped a lot, but we like to still say that we worked hard, and we tried to get as many tenants reposition and try to move quickly on each project that we're working on, and continue to do so this day. So we are still active right now, obviously very cautious with the market in terms of where we are in the economy, and everything with interest rates and whatnot. But I've been doing this for about 9 years now, give or take. So coming up on 10 shortly. And I have some advisors who've worked with me just for 30, 40 years, seen multiple different cycles, kind of learn what to do, what not to do. Before starting my company, Red Knight, I used to work for another real estate sponsor acquiring value add office buildings, which was a lot different than multifamily, obviously experiencing different challenges than we are right now. So I can definitely speak to that. But we're focused on secondary markets slash tertiary and growth states, as I mentioned, Florida, which has its own challenges as well, insurance being one of them right now, and Alabama. So we're being very cautious. We built a portfolio, we sold off some assets. So right now, from now until the end of the year, we have a sale, property sale, and we have a closing for a purchase at the end of this month. This is the month of August 2023. So hopefully that commences on time. Might trickle into September, but whatever. So our goal is to clear those out and then see kind of where the market is, see where the economy is heading over the next couple months, and hopefully one more acquisition between now and the end of the year. But we're being very cautious right now. So that's a little bit about my background. So happy to answer any questions or get into any stories you want me to talk to you about.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. Would love to talk some more. You just mentioned office space, right? For a former, I guess, company or firm you worked for. That's probably not quite as good right now, is it, for over the last, since COVID, right? Office space. So apartments are probably a lot better space, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I left that company in late 2019, so it was before COVID even happened. But I did see trends in the office space before that. Um, we were invested in suburban markets. Mostly, we had some CBD product in very similar areas where we're buying now. And we face a lot of challenges. We had successes too, don't get me wrong, but for me, at the end of the day, number one, I switched to apartments because I started building my portfolio up on the side while I was working. So I had some apartments, that I bought with my partner and then by myself, two families, 10 units, stuff like that. And then I realized the power of, you know, I would say I got more interested in the apartments to be honest, as more of an interest. And then I saw the power of it, hitting my personal bank account. Right. So it just got me a little bit more interested, as opposed to sticking with office. But as far as how office is going now and how the company is performing, I'm not really sure. But you know,
Yeah, no worries.
definitely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The apartments have held up much better than office, and you kind of saw that coming even before the pandemic.
Yeah, well, it's apartments are definitely a great space to be in. I think we're becoming a renter nation, right? Because the home values are going up and it's harder for people to get into, just a personal opinion, right?
Yeah,
But Anthony, let's talk a little bit about our topic today, vertical integration and what that means. There's a lot of people listening and a lot of people that may not be as familiar with vertical integration and what that means and what it means to you. So tell us a little bit about how you're integrated and what that means to you.
yeah. So I kind of briefly touched on it. So vertically integrative is basically full service. So we have acquisitions, asset management, capital raising, property management, construction management, leasing, um, maintenance, pretty much all in-house. So we have control of all the aspects of a real estate operating company, um, bookkeeping, what else? We don't do tax accounting. We outsource that. But for the most part, we're vertically integrated, just meaning anything that you need to run your real estate company, we do in-house. Um, like I said, besides some construction at properties, it's mostly done in-house. So we have employees. I think like I said, I have about 12 or so, maybe a little bit more. Usually per every 100 units, we have 1 to 2 maintenance, one full-time maintenance person, maybe one part-time, and then 1 to 2 leasing agents, and to assist in the day-to-day operations. And then I have a bookkeeper that oversees all the accounting for all of our properties. And then I have a property manager, a senior property manager who kind of oversees maintenance and leasing on site. So sometimes we don't technically have a property manager on site. Our maintenance and leasing kind of act as our managers on site. So it's kind of more of a hybrid approach to property management. So, and as you mentioned, Eagle City does as well. We have syndications, but we also have direct deals as well. So there are properties that we've bought directly or we bought through just a joint venture. And we also had the syndication sides as well. And all those properties that we own, whether that's syndication or directly or with a couple of other partners, we manage. So we don't outsource any management. That's what vertical integration means to us.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, so you covered a lot of items there, actually, as you were speaking. Management, construction management, acquisition, CapEx, just going over a few of those items that you mentioned. And tell us, I know you touched a little bit on why you do that, right? So you have more control over the process, right? But would you tell us a little more about the advantages of having that vertical integration rather than looking to other people, third parties, right?
Yeah, the control is a big part of it, as you said, Herb. That's, I think, number one. Obviously, we do make money on it as well, so it is a profit center. However, you do have to have volume. You can't just buy 100 units of self-management and expect to make money on it. You need scale. Not saying it's a huge amount of money, but it's it keeps lights on. So there's that aspect. And the third aspect is, we like to add value as quick as possible to all of our deals. And if you hire a third party property management company, most likely they have other properties they have to worry about, and they're not as focused as you are. And nobody cares about your property as much as you do. So typically things get pushed to the wayside that should be done sooner than later. And getting creative and having control over vendors, having control over different costs, being able to spread. Usually we like to attack a market and then spread out the payroll. So I have a couple maintenance people at two different locations as opposed to one. So it helps the economics in terms of efficiencies and scale, on each of these deals that we're doing in the certain markets. So there's a lot of benefits to it. It is, the negative is it's a pain in the ass. I'd much rather be, underwriting and sourcing deals and working with my, partners, investors, and reporting, doing the asset management. I'd much rather be doing that. I would say I do that a lot as well, but a lot of the time is now property management. But and we have to make some decisions there as well. But the property management has been good. We've been able to achieve, as I kind of showed before in the presentation, maybe a dozen case studies and some really good returns that I don't think we would have done if we didn't, have control over the management.
Maybe I missed those. Did you say you on your presentation you had some case studies? Maybe let's take a look.
Yeah, sure. And again, this isn't a solicitation or anything. We had a couple, and I probably need to update this because we had a few more. But like this one was in New Jersey. It was 48 units, a very undermanaged property we bought in January of 2020. There were 3 additional apartments that we converted two from retail, one from storage. We were able to bump the rents up like $450 on every single unit within 16 months. That was during COVID. So it was pretty tough, especially with the eviction moratoriums. Basically doubled the NOI, and then obviously cap rates went down. And so we refinanced, returned everybody's money. There's like a 24% IRR and just a refi. And then in 2022, we sold the properties. We sold the property with assumable debt to the next buyer. And obviously, can't really see because they have some stuff in the way. Yeah, it was 58% IRR to our investors. So that's net. So they were very happy with that. And we were able to reinvest the capital in a tax efficient manner to another property. So that, that's just one case study. And at that property, well, I had to meet with the town. I had to get variances. I had to, deal with different personalities. And that was, I don't think I could do that if I outsourced the management. And I had to get creative with Section 8 housing. We had some tenants there. I met with Section 8 in person. I basically, I argued with them to raise the market rents, and I was successful. So I don't think a property manager is going to do that. So that's why we were very hands-on. This was actually our first syndication. This was a $5 million deal that we sold. I think we sold it for like 9.5 in a couple of years. So that's just one. And there's been a couple others since. One, property in Florida. We bought 76 unit. We sold in 2022, 43% IRR. Very similar story there. Long-term owner, just undermanaged. Obviously, Florida rents went crazy, so that helped as well. And there's quite a few more like that, but you kind of get the gist of, what we've been able to achieve. And I really think the key to the success was just having control with the management.
Wow, that's amazing. Looks like some good success there in your history. I want to let anyone know on the call, please feel free to ask questions, post your questions in the chat, or come off mute, raise your hand, ask questions. I think Anthony is ready, and I am too. I'll help.
So, and hi, Anthony. This is Sanjeev. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hi, Sanjeev.
Hi, Anthony. Anthony, we all work together. So I have a question. I mean, this is, suppose we bought 100, we have heard from the brokers that, you can raise the rent, or you can increase the other income by, adding, covered parking, tech package, Wi-Fi. So in your experience, how many percentage, how many people, like suppose we bought 100 units apartment, how many renters will take those packages? Do you think the 100 renter, if the apartment unit is 100 units, so 100 units will accept those packages?
No, I don't think so. It also depends upon the clientele that you're
Okay.
facing. I don't know what properties you're seeking. I think I might have glossed over. We focus on Class C workforce housing. So the demographic is it's not bad, but it's blue collar. And a lot of the tenants don't drive electric cars. They don't want tech back. They just are simple. And there's nothing wrong with that. So we don't have any of that at our properties. And as far as pushing other income goes, yeah, you can definitely do it. You can get control over cable contracts. You can write your own, and you can do certain things with laundry. You mentioned some other technology, profit sharing. I'm probably sure you're talking about. We haven't really, I don't want to say we haven't had success. We just haven't really focused on it. We're focused on the underlying real estate and the underlying, loss to lease or rents relative to market. We don't really bank on other income increasing, or really, we do try to drive it. If there's a laundry contract, we try to get out of it so we can, achieve more revenue there. So there's certain things you can do, but for our asset class, it's not, the tenants aren't jumping for, electric car stations or stuff like that. They're just not. And I would be lying to you if I told you the percentage of Class B properties or A properties that actually utilize those things, because I don't know.
Okay. Because recently we submitted an LOI on a property which was Class C, and then the broker said that you installed 20 ports and carports, and then charge this much from the renters. And we were like thinking, like, who gonna buy the electric car? They are living in Class C properties.
Yeah, exactly. We've had opportunities where we could charge for parking too. It depends where it is. If there's competitors charging for parking or other items, or other amenities, then sure, if it meets the market. But we don't really, it's not a huge percentage of the effective gross income.
Okay. Thank you, Anthony.
You got it.
Yeah, what about like internet and internet Wi-Fi packages? Do you let the tenants go on their own and get that?
Yeah, we've looked into some of that. In some states, you need to be careful because, like Florida, they have a lot of exclusivities with Spectrum and other companies, so you can't really do anything. I know there are ways to get out of it, but we just never. It hasn't really been a focus on ours. But there are things you can do, to take advantage. Buying the internet in bulk and then charging your tenants back for it, and building it as a profit center, or renters insurance, buying renters insurance in bulk and then charging your tenants for it, and you make $10 a unit or something like that. Definitely ways to add to your bottom line. I would say it's not a huge focus of ours. Our focus is to get these apartments up to market level standards, get the rents up as much as we can, and then if we can add value to ancillary income later, we will.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, so we have a property where we have the bulk spectrum, right? And then we sell it to the tenants for a little bit less than what they could, buy it for.
Mhm.
And then we make a margin on that. So, and that works. That works. It's a better tenant base on that property than some. So
It does
it's
work. You just gotta, yeah.
hi, Tristan. We're just answering questions. So if you have any questions, Anthony is vertically integrated. That's our topic. So
Yeah,
if
I
you
was listening in my car. I was listening in my car and then my phone died. I actually do have a question. I was listening to last time I heard was that you is how important the property management company is. And I was just wondering, I've been looking into that a lot, and I was wondering, like, what do you think are some like key components for like a successful like running management company, especially if you're doing it on your own? Like, what
Yeah.
are some things that you have to have, and then how do you like build systems off of those things?
Yeah, definitely have a process, standard operating procedures, software, property management software, communication software, like we use Microsoft Teams, having work order system. We have a whole workflow system that we can assign to our maintenance technicians, and leasing agents, and then they can mark it off as it's completed or it's in progress and a completion date. So we kind of monitor that daily. You just got to have procedures in place. And then if it's something the technicians can't handle, then we'll outsource it to a vendor. Like if it's a major electrical or major plumbing thing they can't do. And then we can keep track of costs that way. So yeah, I would say number one would be just, having a communication system in place and standing operating procedures in place across the board for every single property.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions there, Tristan? We're gonna spin our spinning wheel to give away the Starbucks gift card. We can keep talking, but this is Google Wheel of Names. So wherever Google stops, that's the winner. So look at Tristan. All right.
Nice.
It's my
There you go.
lucky day.
You'll receive that gift card in the email within the hour. And you know how you do, just open it up and pay for it at the counter off of your
Yeah.
phone. So
Thank you very much.
welcome. Yeah, so anything else you have there, Anthony? What do you like doing besides this property apartments?
It's definitely taking up a lot of my time. I work a lot. It's a hard business, but it is a team sport. So I mountain bike a lot with a group of friends. So that's a hobby I've been into lately, quite a bit. So
Good. It's good to have some exercise outdoors. It
yeah,
is.
definitely helps your mental health when you're dealing with all this, stuff at the properties every day. So yeah, been very into that, and I think that's important too, just to kind of stay mentally tough, because it's definitely challenging out there, and in terms of if you're trying to grow right now, and in an acquisition mode. So just keeping at it, and doing the best you can, and not really giving up, because people will be out of the market, and this is a good time for some opportunities and to get creative with deals, because a lot of people are just pencils down. They don't know how to handle higher interest rates and the environment we're in. So having an edge like that, I think, is key, just to keep sharp, to do things like that.
Oh, I believe it is too. Jared and I are into health and fitness as well, and it really helps in our all around. It
Nice.
does. Are you
Awesome.
seeing some like deals come across the market, like because of the environment, the higher interest rates and things?
And the distressed deals, I had a couple sent to me. Like I said, I've been so busy, trying to I have a sale I'm closing on, which has been I wouldn't say a nightmare, but challenging, and we're getting through it. So I haven't really been in the market to see what's out there. The one property I'm closing on, I've been under contract for like 4 months. I got a long contract on it. So I don't know what's out there. I'm about to find out because we'll be in hunting mode again, probably September. So I don't know yet. But when we usually go hunting, we reach out. We have a pretty large distribution list of brokers that we've dealt with. And they know we can close and they know we have a decent reputation. So usually something will pop up and hopefully there's some good opportunities. I don't know yet.
All righty. Thank you, Anthony. Any other questions before we wrap it up? It's been a very enjoyable time. A lot of good information there, Anthony.
Yeah, if you guys can't think of any more now, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If something pops up, it's just my name. Just shoot me a message. I'll also throw my email in the chat so you guys have it.
Okay.
Feel free to shoot me a note if anything. I'm happy to help it when I can.
Absolutely. And one thing that some partners, some friends and I are doing it. So I'm posting some on my personal Facebook page about a 7-day water only challenge, a fast that I do every so often to reset my, body, physical, mental, everything. So something that I do. So
That sounds fun.
yeah.
Challenging.
Third day, right?
Third day in, nice.
Yeah, till about no. Tristan said it sounds fun. I said till about the 3rd day into it, right?
Oh,
4th, right? No, actually, we're starting it the 1st day of September, and we're going for 7 days. And so we'll do some Facebook posts and lives during the challenge as well. Just letting people know that people actually do these things.
Are you still gonna be working out and like burning calories during the day? Or are you gonna just try and be like easy going?
Great question. Probably no heavy lifting, but yes, I'll be doing walks and runs just for cardio. But no bulking, no heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a great evening, and see you later, hopefully.
Thanks for your time, Anthony. I enjoyed listening
Yeah.
to you.
Yes.
appreciate it, guys. It's great to meet you. Thank you, Herb, for having me on and everybody for taking your time.
You too. Thanks.
Bye, Sanjeev.
I appreciate it. Thank you.